Good morning, everybody. It's Cindy Utter here with Artsy Endeavors, and today we're working on our deck of cards. We are at number 14, and the prompt for number 14 is movie. So I found these little bits and pieces in my stash, and what we're going to do is we're going to make a movie card out of this. Again, I just picked a random card from the deck. I ended up with the 7 of clubs. And the first thing we're going to do is throw some paint on this bad boy. So, you know what? I'm in the mood for Dina Wakley today. Let's see what we can do. Let's do some... I must be in a blue mood today. I have a blue shirt on, which is really rare. Normally I don't wear blue, but today I am. So, what we're going to do is movie. Oh my goodness, there's so many different ways to interpret this. I never have been a huge movie buff. However, I do have to say, since I have been... You know what? I'm going to gesso this first, just so you ladies are aware of what I'm doing here. Oh, and I have a hard gesso brush. I don't think that one got cleaned out. I've never been a huge movie fan, but then I ended up with my injury with chronic pain, and when you're on the couch, or what I call my pain management days, you know, yeah, I can create, but you gotta have something else. So I have been turning on some movies. Pardon me. And actually, I started a notebook. And my hubby and I, when we watch a movie together, we'll actually rate that movie. We give it anywhere from 1 to 5+ stars. And it's a lot of fun. Alright, so as I was saying, we rate these movies. I went and I dried this. And again, I didn't sand the card again, which, whatever, that's alright. I'm going to throw another coat of gesso on here just because that one coat didn't look quite like enough. So anyways, we've started this notebook and we actually rate our movies, and we don't have cable, so we don't have HBO or any of that stuff, and a lot of our movies we watch, well actually all of our movies we watch is off Netflix. And I have to tell you, I have found some of the coolest movies, especially independent, I think it's called independent films or independent filmmakers. There has just been some really, really cool movies. I'm going to dry this up and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to add some paint. I've got Dina Wakley Heavy Body Acrylic, which is, this one is called Lapis. I love this blue. This is just a phenomenal blue. And this one is called Sky. I've been through, I don't know, 2 or 3 sets of these paints already. I just really enjoy. Ooh, isn't that gorgeous? Look at that color. Here, let's bring you in a little closer. Isn't that beautiful? Just love this color. Not doing anything special here, just throwing down some paint. I love that random look. Ooh, let's give her some texture. So many different ways to give texture to cards. I actually got these Faber-Castell. I bought this set of, they're like credit cards, only they have edges on them. I just found them in Hobby Lobby not too long ago, and it was like, I think it's like $8 for the set of 8 of them, which I didn't think that was bad, especially when you use your 40% off coupon. The only thing I don't like about them is they came glued to the package, and they all have these little glue dots on them, and it's a pain in the butt to get the glue dots off. So, but I'll probably be using these here sometime soon. Right now, just the paintbrush is doing it. Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to dry up this texture and we'll be right back. Okay, everybody, we're back. This is pretty much dry. Now I want to add some more texture to this, but one thing that, pardon me, I like about movies is when I watch a movie, I feel like I'm transported to a different time or different place. I don't know exactly how to say it, but and I like that idea. So what I want to do is I do want to put a little bit of this map on here, just because, you know, when you watch a movie, you're transported to a different place and time. So I'm just going to randomly cut this. And that's going to go right there. Okay. And let's see, I want this one. That's going to go right there. But before I glue those on, I do want to add a little bit more texture to this. Now I am going to use these cards that I showed you, and I've got some white gesso here. And I just want to just add in some dots. I know some of these are going to be covered up, so you're probably saying, what are you doing that for, the whole card? I don't know, because I can. Just because I can have fun. Alright, and these will get washed the same way my stencils do, which is just a little bit of a baby wipe. Boom, they're done. Alright, let's dry this up. Well, actually, yeah, let's dry this up real quick. I'm just going to give it a shot. I'm not going to shut the camera off. I just got this new Ranger heat tool because my other one, not my other Ranger, but the long one, the cord kept coming out of the end of it. So I ordered another one of these because I really like my first one. Well, this one, I don't know. It heats funny. Alright, so let's go ahead and get some... Am I going to tacky glue these? That's super heavy. I just need regular. Alright, let's just glue these down. These pieces of map. Alright, let's go ahead and glue these down. I don't have my trusty little glue book out. I just didn't feel like getting it out. So I'm just adding glue to this over here on the side. Let me bring it back out so you can see what I'm doing. No big deal. Put that all the way on the end so I don't have to cut a lot off. Come on. There you go. Okay, so I'm just gluing that down. I'm going to glue this side down. Let's see what we can do with this right there. That's where I want it. Yeah, I like that. Okay, now I'm going to take like another baby wipe. Okay, I'm just going to take a small pair of scissors and just cut these corners. And tidy up my edge. Cut this corner. Okay. Alright, now I have this washi tape. Of course, washi tape! Gotta have washi tape, right? And it is a film strip. I got that a little bit over, that's okay. Alright, so we got some film strip on there. Now I also have an actual piece of film strip. This came out of the Tim Holtz, which a friend of mine gave to me. So this is going to go on here somehow. I'm thinking right about there. I've got this little You're a Star. I have, of course, movie tickets, which I've definitely got to do something to these movie tickets. I've got some popcorn, and I've got, this is the, what do you call that thing? The director's cut thing with a little piece of film on the bottom of it. So these are all going to go on here. But the first thing I want to do is I want to work on, let's move the popcorn, these little cards. We got to do something with these cards. Let's see. I'm going to use a little bit of white gesso. Whoa, yucky. I've got to age them or something. I don't know. Got to do something to them. Can't just leave them as is. It just wouldn't be right. Just kind of doing a whitewash on them. Gesso. And then I'll take them and wipe them off. Then who knows? Okay, it just kind of tones them down a little bit. They don't just look like stark cardboard now. So we're just toning them down a little bit. Alright, I need to take some, of course, every time I want to get in these inks, I have so much stuff in the way. I'm going to take some of this Vintage Photo. This is Vintage Photo Distress ink and a finger dauber. I'm just going to go around the edges of these. Just because I can. Still a little bit wet, so I'm going to have to dry these. Okay. Alright, let me dry these up. We'll get our stuff together here. We're going to do some writing on these, and then we're going to go ahead and get started on putting this card together. Be right back with you. Okay, everybody, what we're going to do, I'm going to bring it back down in. I'm going to go ahead and start putting this stuff down because, honest with you, I can't plan things. If I try to plan things, it just doesn't work. So I'm actually going to start putting this stuff down. However, I want to find a couple of glue dots. Actually, I'll just do this with tape. I really don't, I understand it dries clear, but I really don't want to put, I don't really want to put, this stuff. I can't talk today. Matte gel, medium matte gel. I don't want to put that down on the back of this. So I'm just going to put a piece of tape. And I want that to go right there. This is just a crafter's tape. I use it when I scrapbook. Yes, I do still scrapbook. And I actually work on my granddaughter's, you know what, a lot of this is going down with this tape. I work on my granddaughter's scrapbook. I said I was going to make her one when she was born. And she is now almost 6, and I am still working on the infant pages. So that tells you how much I scrapbook. I rather work with this kind of art, but I do want to make her a scrapbook, so I've got one going. Alright, let's put You're a Star right there. That looks fantastic, doesn't it? Alright, I want this director's cut thing in here somewhere. Again, I'm just using this tape to put these down. You can use matte medium, you can use, you know, whatever you choose, that's fine. And I can't wait to see. I'm really excited that you're all participating with me in these cards because it's a lot of fun. So I'm really excited each week when I get to see your cards and what you do, and it's really, really neat. So, and everybody's interpretation of the prompt is so different, which is what's really cool. Gotta have popcorn on there, right? I think that's about the only reason I would go to a movie theater is for the popcorn. I love their popcorn. Okay, I'm gonna put my 2 tickets right here. Now, my favorite all-time movies, and pardon me, I don't know why I'm just real vloggy this morning. My all-time favorite movie, and I can sit and watch them over and over and over again, is Star Wars. There is just something about the way that those movies were made that I absolutely love. Now, as far as types of movies, I am not a chick flick movie. I can't do chick flicks. I don't like chick flicks. That's not my kind of movie. I cannot, and I don't like romance movies. No, not my kind of movie. I like action movies. I like I love, believe it or not, documentaries. I realize they're not movies, but I love documentaries. We actually watched, not too long ago, a movie on Netflix, and it was called Tracks. And it was about this lady, this young girl actually, that her goal was to walk across the desert with 3 camels and her dog. And she wanted to walk across the desert to the ocean. And if you have Netflix and you get a chance to watch that movie, it was amazing. So definitely check it out if you get a chance. I believe it was called Tracks, and it was on Netflix. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to stick our, whoops, I don't want that under there. I'm going to stick our tickets down here. Then I'm probably going to work on blackening up the edges. Again, just because I do. Okay, here's ticket 1. And these actually say 00001 and 0002. So ticket 1 and 2. There's our tickets. Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to clean this up a little bit. Clean up our edges. Okay, we're going to put this back. Alright, let's see, where is my black? I think it's out on my cart in the living room. So we're going to use the StazOn. I have a little black Studio G that I use around. Oh, I love the smell of this. Oh, it smells so good. It's like smelling markers in school, you know. Okay, the only other thing we need is, gotta have glitter, right? If I can find my glitter pen. Got to have glitter. When you're a star, you've got to have glitter. You're a star. Yay. I'll just throw some glitter in here. Just kind of give it, hey, we'll even glitter our popcorn. How's that? Star Wars. Love them. Okay. So, here we go. We've got card number, what did I say? 14. The prompt is movie. Here you go. Let's have fun. Let's move on to the next. Okay, everybody, here we go. We are on card number 15. And the prompt for card number 15 is heart. So, let me pull you out here a little bit. This is what I'm going to do. I've got my Xyron here, and I just randomly pulled a card. Isn't it kind of cool? It's actually a heart. And what I want to do, I found this really pretty piece of scrap paper, and it's all hearts. So I'm going to start with that. Now, instead of putting glue on here and putting this to it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this through my Xyron face down so that I get that side sticky. Alright. And then what I'm going to do, alright, so now I've got the front side of this card sticky. Let me just move this out of the way. Alright, the front side of my Xyron is, my Xyron, the front side of my card is sticky. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take the card and stick it to this piece of scrapbook paper. Genius, huh? Alright, so now, actually I want that bigger, so I'm going to do it this way. And now I'm just cutting the scrapbook paper off. Alright. I'm not sure why that's sticky. I know, I'm very particular about these things. I'm sorry. That's just me. Yay! Look at that. We have a base to start with. So, heart. Okay, what do we think of? When I think of heart, of course, I think of love. I think of my hubby, actually. But what else? What else do we love? We love our kids. We love our animals. Sometimes we love our family. Sometimes we love our life. Well, I've got this texture. I don't know if you can see. Let me see if I can bring it in and show you the texture. This is a texture paper. I got it, I'm guessing at probably a Michael's, and it was in one of those packs of homemade papers that they sell for like, I don't know, a couple bucks. And I just really like the texture on this. So I'm going to, whoops, wrong way, sorry. Making you dizzy here. What I'm going to do is make some hearts the old-fashioned way. Yeah. Yay, there we go. We have our heart. Oh, the end of it. That's okay. We don't mind. Alright, so actually I want to make it a little bit smaller. So I am going to cut the bottom to a point. There we go. Alright, so we've got this really cool texture of a heart. Let's see. Now, like I said, when I think about heart, I think about love, I think about family, all kinds of things like that, right? So I have this really cool little girl. She's a stamp, and for the life of me, I can't remember the name of whose stamp this is. A friend of mine actually sent this to me. And I look at her and I just think she looks so forlorn, but you know what? She needs love too. Doesn't everybody need love? Absolutely. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut her out. I'm not going to fussy cut her because that would just take way too much time. And I don't have that kind of patience. So I'm just kind of cutting around her. Nothing spectacular, nothing crazy. I like her. I think she's just really cool. Sat here the other day when I was chatting with a friend and just was cutting her out, or I'm sorry, was coloring her in. Okay. Isn't she adorable? Okay, so that's the first thought. Now, I also want some washi tape. Sorry. This is, I finally took my washi tape and I took it out of the box, the tin that it was in, and I've got it in 2 of these boxes now. And I really like it because I can actually see the colors and I can see what I have. I've got it divided by color. So, what I'm going to do, let's see, I've got this red heart. I like these red dots. It's not going to show up though. This is what I like about washi tape. Put it on, doesn't work, take it right back off and roll it right back up. Right? Let me bring you back down in so you can see what I'm doing. This one, I have no idea where I found. This one just says kisses. Yeah, I like that. So that'll go on there. Okay. Do we see anything else we need? No. Alright, so we'll put that back. Now, the reason I'm using this girl is because, you know, everybody places so much emphasis on how we look. And unfortunately, there are people in the world that, because of their appearance, don't get the love they deserve. And I really wish, if there was anything I could change in this world, it would be that, well, there's one thing I would change, but would be that people would stop being so judgmental about everybody else. And, you know, look into our hearts. Don't look at the body. The body is just, it's a vessel that your soul is in, right? So why not, you know, look at the souls, look at your heart, look at people, their personalities and who they are, and love them for who they are. So there she is. I want to do something to this heart. First thing I'm going to do, I wish I had my black here. I'm going to go get my black and I'll be right back with you. Okay, I got my black. Yay! It's just a Studio G. I think I pay $1, $1.50 for them in like Michael's or Joann's. I think this is a Michael's. But anyways, I've got my black. Yay! First thing I want to do, always, I need to clean off my table because I'm getting blue paint from the last one on here. But that's alright. Alright, we're just going to blacken our edges just because I like to. I just think it gives it that finished look, and I don't know. Alright, I want to blacken the edges of my heart. Do this. And this heart's got a little bit of sparkle to it, which is kind of cool too. Alright, so we've got this little girl, and like I was saying, I just think everybody needs love, and I think she's so cute. Doesn't she need love? Let's see if we can blacken her edges a little bit. Yeah. I'll just kind of make her stand out a little bit more. But anyways, as I was saying, I really wish people would start to look at, you know, a person not for what their body looks like, but for what's in their heart and what's in their soul. I mean, there's just so many people out there. They're beautiful people on the inside, and you know, everybody's beautiful on the outside. Everybody looks different, but our society takes so much about the outside, and that's what we focus on. Alright, so we're going to put this here. Now, I happened to go through my words, and I found this little word of love, and I'm just going to kind of go around it a little bit. I don't like things square so much. Okay. And same thing, I'm going to blacken the edges of this. Okay. So we're going to put this down here. She's going to go here. Love is going to go right here. And because I started using the Xyron with this, I think I'm going to continue. I'm actually going to use my smaller Xyron. Hopefully this will fit. I believe it will, so let's try it. And I also want her to lay down, so I'm going to stick her in there. Oops. Alright, so we've got our heart. We've made it nice and sticky. We're going to put our heart right there. And we've got our girl, who's also nice and sticky. And she's going to go right here. Isn't she cute? Look at that. I just love her. She's so cute. Alright, and this one, which I don't have my small Xyron right here, so we're just going to have to use the big one. Actually, the medium one. This is the medium one. And we've got Love. Okay, I'm not going to do a whole lot more to her just because I like it very simple. And this is card number 15, and it is for heart. So we are going to set this one aside. So far we've got the movie and the heart done. And our next card is number 16, and that one is Fantasy. Now I saw this picture a while back that I really liked how it was done. Now I have this little fairy here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use, this is a very fine grit, it's a 320 fine, and I'm actually just going to take a little bit of the gloss off this card because I do want to, I want what the gesso and the paint that I'm going to put on here to adhere. So let's go ahead and get this one started. First thing I'm going to do is gesso it. Okay, I have a small brush here. Actually, let me see if I can get my big brush. Okay, we're just going to gesso this. And again, just by doing that little bit of sanding, just, you know, across it a couple times, it's going to actually help the gesso and whatever medium I put on here to adhere, which is going to be paint, I believe. So we've got this gessoed. I'm going to go ahead and dry it up, and we'll come back and we'll start working on our fantasy card. Alright, be back in a minute. Okay, so we're back. I went ahead and I dried up this gesso. I had to clean up my desk here too. Alright, now I've got some black gesso out. Ouch. Maybe. If I can get the top off it. Alright, I'm going to put it here on my workbench. Whoops. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, and you're going to think I'm crazy doing this, but I have my fairy here, right? What I want to do is I actually want to take a small brush and I'm going to completely black out the fairy. And I'm going to do it with the black gesso. And I'll show you why in a minute. I'm just completely blacking her out. I'm just going to paint her real quick. I'm going to have to get a smaller brush to get into these smaller pieces of her. But for right now, I'm going to use the big brush. Now another thing I could have done instead of doing it this way, I could have done a fussy cut on her and then laid her down on the card and done an outline of her. But I just decided, I have a few of these that I've printed, so I'm just going to use this. I don't think this brush is working very well. Let's find another one. Let's do a very tiny one. Okay, and we're just going to do her hand real quick. Now I am going to have to fussy cut her a little, but not as... Okay, and we're going to put that in later. So I'm losing the paint off my paintbrush. See it? Keeps falling off while I'm painting. Okay. So we're going to set her aside and let her dry. Now I am going to take some of this remaining black gesso that I have here, and I'm just going to go around the outside of the card. Alright. Now I'm going to get some of, let's see, the Dina Wakley heavy body acrylic, and this is lapis. Put a little bit of that down there, and I am going to mix a tiny bit of the black gesso in it, because I really want a blue, a real dark, dark, dark blue. And that's going to give me what I wanted. I need a little bit more of that. Oops, I have two little blops. There's one. Okay, now I'm going to take a sponge and basically what I'm going to do, give me 1 second. Is I am just going to kind of get rid of those brush marks, but still have the idea that I had there. Okay. Alright, so if you can see this, it's got a black outside, a blue. Now I've got to let this dry really well because I'm going to add another color into the middle of it. So I'm going to go ahead and dry this up real quick and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so this is pretty well dry. Now what I'm going to do is I'm taking a little bit of white gesso, which is right here, and I'm going to take some Dina Wakley lemon, and I'm going to do more of the yellow than I am the white, but I want it to be more of an opaque. That's why I'm adding the white to it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this yellow and I want to give it a really nice coat through here. Okay, now again I'm going to use another sponge, and all this is a cosmetic wedge, and I just want to make it so it's not so you know what, I can see now I should have done the whole thing the blue. That's okay. We're going to keep working with it. I'm going to add a little bit more of this lemon. Just going to do a little bit more of this lemon around the outside. Okay, and again take my sponge. And I'm just basically taking away that brush stroke look, which is okay. Okay. Now I'm going to let this dry. So while this is drying, I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors and I'm going to lightly fussy cut this. When I say lightly, that means I am leaving a white edge around this. But have no fear, it will turn black. A little bit more. I'm trying to get close, but I'm not making it perfect because I'm not perfect. Alright. So we're just, again, fussy, lightly fussy cutting it. Nothing major, nothing crazy. When I think of the prompt fantasy, I think of fairies. I don't know why. To me, they're magical. They're fantasy. They're... Wouldn't you love to be a fairy? That would just be too cool. I had to laugh the other day. I saw my father-in-law, and he says to me, he goes, "If you're not a hippie, I don't know what is." I just had to laugh. That was funny. I said, "Thank you." We call him Papa San. I don't know. I call him Papa San. I've called him that for years. So I said, "Thank you, Papa San." It was just funny. Okay. So here's my fairy. Like I said, I did not I fussy cut her, but I didn't do it too bad. So, all right. So here's my fairy. This is not dry yet. I'm going to go ahead and hit this with the dryer real quick, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so this is dry. Now I'm going to go back in with the lapis blue. I've got a little bit here on my table, but I'm just going to add a touch more. Don't need a whole lot. I'm just going to go back in with this lapis blue. We're going to go around the outside of this. Okay, and I'm actually going to get a different sponge because I don't really want to pick up the black. Okay. Getting there. Alright, let's do a little bit more of that blue. Just a touch more. And we're going to do the same thing, just use our cosmetic sponge. Just kind of get away from those marks. Okay. Love her. Okay. Alright. Now, just because I can see bits and pieces of the white on the card, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our silhouette. She is actually going to go right here. Again, I'm going to do it through the Xyron just because sometimes I don't feel like using wet glues and stuff. So okay, we are going to take her off the plastic. And she's going to go right, no, up a little bit, up, come on. Okay. Actually, I kind of like the outline, the white on her, because it kind of brings her out a little bit, and I like that. So now I do want to give her, I want to make sure that she has a she definitely has to have, that's not going to work. Black Sharpie. I've got to have her with her wand. I gotta let that dry. I have to learn. I gotta let that dry. Alright, and then the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to take a... This is Modeling Cream by Viva. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a stencil and we're going to go around the outside of this and we're going to give her some stars. So let me find my star stencil. It's going to take me just a second. And that's good though, we'll wait for that Sharpie to dry. Okay, I like these little stars, so we're going to use this. We're going to use these little stars. I'm going to have to clean this up. I'll be right back. We're going to go ahead and get this stenciled and pretty much finish her up when I come back. Okay, so she's dry. I cleaned up my mess here. Now we're going to go ahead again. This is the Modeling Cream by Viva, and this is called Pearl. I'm actually going to put it down here because I don't want a whole lot. A few stars there. You know what? That's too many stars, so I'm going to take it off, wipe it down, and let's do this again. Okay. I probably should have done this before I put her down, but you know what? That's okay. It's working fine for me. Okay, so because she's fantasy and I've got a fairy, fairies come at night. At least in my fantasy world they do. Let's see, put that back down in there. One thing about this paste is if you stick it along the outside of the container, like if you wipe off your thing on the outside of the container, next time you open it, that little piece will be dry. So I try to stick as much of it as I can back down into the container to keep it wet. Alright, so we've got our fantasy, we've got our fairy. Ouch, I'm tearing stuff apart over here. Got our fantasy, we have our fairy. I think the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make her magic wand a little bit, stand out a little bit, and I'm going to do that with a glitter pen. Alright, and let me just shoot this real quick to make sure that my Sharpie is dry. Okay. Okay, so here we have it, fantasy. Actually, let me bring you down. Here she is. She's got her magic wand. She's in the moonlight. She's coming to us. And there she is. So, for this video, we have had Fantasy, which is number 16. Number 15 is Heart. And number 14 is Movie. Oops, let's go back in. There you go. So I hope you enjoy. I would love to see your cards. As always, if you like this, please put a like click the like button. Yeah, the like button below. If you're not, please subscribe to my channel. And until next time, take care of yourself, and we'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.